This video is brought to you by Hit Point Press and their Big Bad Booklet series, and by Steamforged Games and their upcoming Kickstarter for Animal Adventures, The Faraway Sea on July 20th. Hello and welcome back to the Gallant Goblin. Today we have our preview box of Pathfinder Battles Bestiary Unleashed, which is the next booster set from WizKids. Many thanks to them for sending it to us to review with you, and according to the box, apparently it is the 20th Pathfinder Battles set. We're hoping to have a full case to review with you in the coming weeks, but for now we can at least get a good look at a lot of the uncommons and rares in the set. And today I am just going to be pontificating about my initial impressions of these minis. We'll have our full lore on the full case review coming up. And most of the minis in the set I think are from Bestiary 1, but let's go ahead and take a closer look. So we're starting off with a little fella. This is the Goblin War Chanter, which is number 15. I love the Pathfinder goblin look. This guy even has his mouth open to do some chanting. So the Pathfinder Goblin Chanters, War Chanters, like to run into battle and just scream their little stupid songs. So you, as a DM, when you're playing as when you have a War Chanter on your battlefield, you're going to have to come up with some really stupid, repetitive songs to sing for your players in order to really immerse them in the experience. So be sure you, when you get this mini, you start thinking about some songs. But that one's super cute. Moving on. Next we have... Ooh, wow, look at this little fella. This is an Arbiter, Aeon Arbiter. So the Aeons, I don't know a lot about this because I haven't really played or heard any adventures including them, but I think they're also called the Inevitables, or maybe there's some Aeons that are Inevitables. I think they're kind of the monitor race that kind of is caretakers of reality. They kind of defend the balance and the natural order of the world. A lot of them kind of have dualities among them that they try to, that they somehow represent. These look a little bit like Modron to me, even with the big eye in front. And they may be sort of based on the Modron from D&D. I'm not really sure where they came from, but he certainly looks like those little Modron. Yeah, it's a very cute little guy. Next we have, oh, here we go. This is a mummy Pharaoh, number 37, breathing out some fire. Little undead Pharaoh mummy. You can't go wrong with these guys. It's a really cool look. I'm trying to remember ever seeing a mummy that breathed fire before. Maybe I haven't done any adventures like Tomb of Annihilation, or I'm not sure where the mummies show up in Pathfinder, which adventures they would be in. But I haven't really played with these very much, so I don't know a lot about the kind of undead mummy lore. But you could really do some cool things with this mini. Next we have this is a Grim Reaper. This is number 34. Oh, look at that. The cool gold chain surrounding him, the long scythe. So the Grim Reapers in Pathfinder, or maybe there's just one Grim Reaper. I think people in the universe think there's just one who goes around everywhere to bring death, just like they do in The Sims. And all I remember about them is that they are very challenging creatures. And I think if they crit you with their scythe, if you fail your fort save, you just die. And the fort save is like a DC 50 or something. So yeah, if you're going to get into battle with the Grim Reaper, you might just prefer to run away. But it's a very cool looking mini. Okay, let's see what we have here. Ooh, this looks like, yeah, a Merfolk Warrior, number 40, I believe. And I don't know a lot about the Merfolk in Pathfinder lore. I haven't really done any adventures with them or read too much about them, but definitely has a mermaid look, the blue patterning, the gray skin, the cool trident. It's a really beautiful looking mini with the little blue water effect on their kind of flight base. Just a very cool looking Merfolk mini. Love this. Okay, let me line these up here in front of me. Next we have, this is another Aeon, another Inevitable, I believe it's called the Enforcer, number 35. Look at that. It looks like almost like a Warforged, which you could probably use this as a Warforged if you are playing any Eberron games. Got a shredded cape in the back, metal man, long sword. You might even use it as some sort of like Starfinder android type creature if you wanted to, or a robot. Believe this one is also called a Quelaunt or something along those lines. It is, I think, in the Inevitables and the Monitors, this is the one who kind of goes out and actually communicates verbally with the people that it's interceding with, and it knows all the courtly graces that it needs to talk to the most important people in the universe. So that's just an awesome looking mini. You can use that one for a lot of things. Next we have, oh, I know a succubus when I see one. This is number, 38. And yeah, look at that. Really beautiful succubus. And in Pathfinder, I'm not sure if this is true in D&D, the succubi can change their gender as they want, but their natural form is female. You also have the incubus, but it's a different creature. And these, of course, are the lust demons. And she has this white, or this clear, like, scarf, it looks like, around her. You might be able to see it better than I will in the little roundabout video next to me. But I love the horns. I love the little clear scarf. The legs sticking out of the dress, the tail in the back. Beautiful mini. All right, next we have... Ooh, this is a Celestial Legionnaire, number 39, I believe. If I say these correctly or the numbers incorrectly, because they're a little hard to read under here, you can see it in the video next to me. It'll be there. Now, I believe in the Bestiary, these are called Archons. And this is a Guardian Archon, I believe, of kind of one of the Guardians of Heaven. They are the ones who go and fight all the demons and the fiends, and they intercede with the mortals to try to help them lead better lives. They're called Legion Archons, I believe, if I remember correctly. So they're kind of diplomatic. They go and they teach the mortals how to be honorable. So very cool. Next one we have. This one looks really familiar. Yeah, this is an Astral Deva. So we have another version of this mini in the unpainted line that we just received from the Unpainted Minis number set 15, I believe. Also for Pathfinder, so we will have you, if you want an unpainted version of this mini, we'll have that coming out soon, but I don't envy you having to paint all those little lines on her long scroll there. I don't know, you have to use like a very fine-tooth, like ink pen to do that, I think. It's amazing, the detail there. The minis have just come so far. It's just an amazing looking figure. Like, just look at the face and the hair and the shading. Like, I think they look amazing. So look at that decree that she has wrapping around her. That's just beautiful. All right, next we have a bigger one. Oh, hello. This is an Efreeti, number 20. So one of the genies, Gen. This is the fire one, the fire Gen, obviously. You have the flame coming off of the sword, the jagged sword. These are, I believe, the only straight up evil genies or gens out there. They, in the plane of fire, I think of it as, they have the huge mercantile cities. They're also slavers and warmongers, just the worst kind of people. Also the horns on there you can see. A very cool looking creature, and it looks different than the D&D Efreeti as well. They don't have the kind of, at least as this figure, they don't have the fiery trail coming out the lower half of their body. Moving on. This is this is a hard to pronounce one. Ceustodaemon? I probably should know how to pronounce that, but I don't. Number 29. These are, this is a cool one, kind of a gorilla demon. These are often summoned, I think, to be guardians for the summoners to guard their treasures or their fortresses or whatever. And when they are summoned, if they try very hard to break out of their kind of the decree that they have to help their summoner. They try everything that they can to just break that agreement and then rip their summoner apart. They're not the nicest people. And I think they can also breathe fire, although this one doesn't have a fire effect coming out of them. But very cool looking gorilla demon. Next we have, this is another Archon, the Celestial Defender number 30. As you can tell from the massive shield there, it's a shield Archon, I believe they're called. And they are the straight up defenders of heaven. They defend the plane of heaven from any kind of people trying to invade them. They have, look at that massive spear on the end of his arm. Another very cool looking creature here. Very nicely detailed head as well. All right, now this is maybe the most interesting one in the set. Look at this. This is a Pleroma, another one of the Aeons, another one of the inevitables, I believe. So, as I mentioned earlier, the Aeons, the inevitables, often have a dual nature. And this one is the kind of ultimate one who has the dual creation and destruction nature about them. And on one hand, they have a sphere of creation, and on the other hand, they have a sphere of destruction, I think they're called. And you don't want to be hit by either one of them. I think if they send the creation one out, it'll just create different kinds of matter and terrain. But if it hits something or hits somebody, it just deals positive energy damage, which isn't good. You don't want to be hit by that. And this one will do the same thing. If it hits you, it just annihilates everything in front of it, including any creatures. So this is not somebody you want to make angry. But look at that. You can see the kind of star effect on the inside of them. Just one of the coolest blending paint jobs that we've seen in minis thus far, I think. Very cool one. Next, we have another small one. This is like a Lich. Yeah, a Lich, number 36. Super cool. Very detailed Lich. You can use these, of course, in any of your adventures, no matter what game you're playing. Got the skull staff, the necromantic book with a little bit of writing inside of it, the kind of crown that you'll sometimes find these evil wizards wearing, the skull head, the super cool Lich. Even got some spell scrolls strapped around his back. Very cool mini. I'll put him down here. And let's see what we have here. Oh, this is a giant mantis. A little bit different from the ones we had so far. As I talked about before, Pathfinder, especially, maybe even more so than D&D, is just full of giant beasts and creatures and insects, and they're just everywhere. So if you want to, if you're running around in the brush, you might want to be careful you run across one of these guys. I don't know how damaging they are, but it's number 31, I believe. But a cool-looking mini nonetheless. That's just fun to have run into when you're off in the forest. Now, I know a two-headed Ettin when I see one. This is 32A. Oh, 32A. Ettin Flails. So presumably we'll be getting a variant of this one that has a different weapon or a different set of weapons. Look at that. Very cool looking. So what's the interesting thing about Ettins is I think in Pathfinder lore, they're kind of the mutts of the giant world. You can kind of see some orcish influence in their skin color. Maybe sometimes they have fangs. They're kind of made of some giant blood, some orc blood, various kinds of giants. And so they're just a little bit of the mutt of the world. Very cool flails, though, on this one, going up, like kind of a lot of dynamic effect to it. It's interesting, though, the top one has two balls that are chained up to it, and the bottom one is all chained up to one giant, massive spiked ball. So it's kind of an interesting weapon that I've never quite seen before. Very nicely detailed with the wraps around the legs and the feet and the arms. Very cool. Let's see. Oh, we have a big one next. We have an adult white dragon who's missing a wing because it's right here. So let's see if I can get it slotted in. The adult dragons in Pathfinder are largest, so they're usually a little bit smaller than your typical, comparable D&D dragons. And there we go. Got the wing in there. So this is a large size adult dragon, number 44, as you'll probably see already. And it's really cool looking. Got the different sort of the spines going along the back, the really cool feathery wings, the black claws. I'm just happy that we have these built-on flying bases now without the pegs that I have to worry about them constantly falling out of. So these are amazing as long as they are balanced, and they pretty much have been lately. Let's see what we got next. Ooh, okay, this I think another gen there. This is a Merid, number 27. The Merids look a lot different in Pathfinder than they do in D&D. In D&D, they just like squat little, if I remember correctly, they're just kind of squat little fish like genies that you see. Then maybe just more enjoy a nice meal than they are looking like Dr. Manhattan spearing a combination of Dr. Manhattan and Aquaman. But that's what this one looks like, with a really cool wave effect coming up from the base. Musculature, the black eyes. He really does look like Dr. Manhattan with a lot of like gold runes painted on him. That's super cool mini. So we have a lot of gen in this set. Speaking of, this is another one, I think. This is a Shaitan, I think it's pronounced, number 28. These are actually the Earth gen in Pathfinder. They're also tradesmen, and because our plane is full of gemstones and precious metals, and so they can do a lot of trading with the other races. They're all the other gen, like the Marids and the Shaitan, are neutral creatures. None of them get along with the Efreeti at all. But yeah, a super cool mini as well with a nice curved blade. I love it. And we got 2 more in this set. This alien-looking creature, look at that, 3 arms and 3 legs, just really unsettling. Anything with 3 arms and 3 legs is unsettling. Quelaunt is one of the aberrations. I don't know a ton about these either. I know that they are alien creatures whose origin isn't really known. They're not part of the sort of... oh, we got kitties crying in the background. They're not part of the other groups like the Dominion of the Black or even the Elder Gods mythos. They're just aliens, maybe from another dimension, maybe from a planet deep in space. Maybe Starfinder has some of these, and I haven't read about that yet. It'd be interesting to find out. But super creepy creature there. Running out of places to put them. Put them over here by my mug. And we got one more. Look at that. That is a adult copper dragon number 43. We don't get a lot of bronze and copper dragons, I feel like. These are the dragons that get left off. We sometimes get gold and silver dragons from the metallics, but we rarely get bronze and copper ones. So this is a lot of fun. Breathing fire as well, and the shading along the belly, nice flying pose, the long winding tail. Not really a metallic effect necessarily on the wings, I don't think. It's pretty shiny though, but I think sometimes the metal paints can have a slightly different effect. But it looks really cool. Yeah, and so those are all the minis that we have in this particular set. Pathfinder Battles Bestiary Unleashed is scheduled to release sometime in July 2021. It is available now for pre-order. Of course, a lot of things these days, shipping is inconsistent, and so it may arrive early in July, maybe arrive late in July, it may arrive in August, so just stay tuned. We'll keep you updated on our Twitter feed and our Discord channel as we learn more. And as soon as we get our case in, we'll show you everything in the set, and I'll give you the real lore. It's possible I made some mistakes on what some of these were, so I will make sure I go back and give you the full lore from the bestiaries so that you can know exactly what they are and how to use them in your stories. And we'll also have our preview of the premium figure, which is Tree Razor, very soon. We do have it right over there in a box, and so I'm going to go do that video right after this one. But let me know what you think of the ones we've seen so far in Bestiary Unleashed in the comment section down below. Which one's your favorite? What are you excited about? And yeah, look for our full review here again in the coming weeks. And I want to thank our 2 sponsors for this video. First, Steamforged Games. Their next book in their Animal Adventures series is hitting Kickstarter on July 20th. Animal Adventures of Faraway Sea is going to bring you rules for playing a wide variety of awakened animals beyond just cats and dogs, so they're going to have those too. And keep in mind, this Kickstarter isn't just for the book. They're making a whole range of new animal minis that you're not going to want to miss. They're all designed by Russ Charles, who may be most famous for creating the minis for Critical Role. His minis are absolutely amazing, and you're going to want to check them out. Use that link in the video description down below to be notified when the Kickstarter launches on July 20th. And don't miss out on the Kickstarter exclusive Baby Kraken mini, which is still just about the best thing I've ever seen. That's Animal Adventures of Faraway Sea on Kickstarter July 20th. Next, we want to thank our longtime sponsor, Hit Point Press, and their Big Bad Booklet series. Recently, we interviewed the project lead for the Big Bad Booklets, Mr. Jordan Richer, and they have a lot of plans coming up for the series. They've got physical books coming out of the early editions of the Big Bad Booklets, which are no longer available, so they're going to re-release those with new covers. Those should be hitting the web store pretty soon. You've also got a compilation book on the horizon, and so much more. If you want to hear all about what's coming up from Hit Point Press in the Big Bad Booklet series, and in Humblewood, check out that floating eye in the corner of your screen to see our full interview with Mr. Richer, and learn also how you might help write or illustrate a future Big Bad Booklet, because they're looking for artists and writers, so don't miss out on that. And this month, you can come meet Wranrebur, a demon who sows violence and chaos to satiate himself. Will you feed into his bloody desires, or can you starve Wranrebur before he gets too powerful? Subscribe today at bigbads.com. And thank you for watching today. You can check out out our new 5e supplement, Fight Your Minis Tomb Tapper, on dmsguild.com. And you can see our Rainbow Pride shirts on gallantgoblin.com/shop. You can also find me on Twitch and Discord and Reddit and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. If you enjoyed this video today, click that little like button down there so help other people find our video. And you can help keep me on the air by supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/thegallantgoblin. Also, we're releasing a lot of videos in the next couple of weeks, so if you want to make sure you don't miss anything, be sure you're subscribed and click that little bell icon to get a notification when we drop new videos, because sometimes they drop on the weekends, sometimes they drop later in the afternoon. You never know. We got a lot of stuff to show you. But for now, please stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.